What's up, everybody? It's Henry. Welcome to my live stream of consciousness. And today I wanted to expand on today's video, which is where I read and reacted to this article. I showed my nephew a totally normal kid movie. Now I'm banned from babysitting. The whole article reaction format is actually a great way for me to get my money's worth for Apple News Plus. Yeah, that's what it's called. Today I had ChatGPT run some numbers for my video streaming services. I'll talk about that more in a bit, but I just want to say I bumped up the stream time to right now because I want to experiment with different times before I settle on one. Because I would love to just stream whenever I want and have hundreds of concurrent viewers at any given time. Unfortunately, circumstances don't always allow that, and I'm still having a hard time letting go of the idea of having my nights all to myself to do whatever I want. It's like I always say, I hate working at night as a result of my experience working at the movie theater. That is the thing that I learned from it. Hold on, I just need to turn on the power bank that the phone's connected to. But I'm willing to do it for myself. So I'm doing this YouTube channel for myself, and I know exactly what I have to do to stream. I have to stream when people are actually around to watch. I mean, yeah, I could just stream whenever I feel like it, but then I probably wouldn't get any viewership. Sorry, I just gotta make sure that active noise cancellation is on, so the only thing I can hear is the stream. Oh, hey! The Switch 2 pre-order trailer is leaked. While I wait for anyone to show up in the chat, let's just take a quick look and see
So yes,
what the
folks, we
date
have a
is.
second video today because there's been a lot of interesting developments regarding Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders,
Let's just
basically
see
in the
really
United
quick if
States
it's
and in
written
Canada
there. Oh,
when it comes to.
oh, come on. That's Canada. It's for Canada's pre-order date. Let's just see if there's a US one. Okay, come on, RGT85. If there is an American release date, you can't just write it out on screen. Come on. Okay, let's see if he says anything about America.
But they have been pretty spot on when it comes to leaks about certain things, leaks about certain events, and leaks about when things are going to be coming out. And according to Bill Kunn, upcoming release. From what I can see through some Canadian retailers, Nintendo Switch 2 console and bundle pre-orders should start from April 23rd, 2025, valid in Canada. Date subject to change. Can't confirm if it's the same for the US. I will keep you updated if it changes. So I know it says Canada, but if you've been following the situation, you would know that Canada actually changed the pre-order date based on what was happening in the US. So I would say more than likely the pre-order date for Canada and the US are going to be exactly the same. Now, April 23rd is of course a week from this upcoming Thursday, so that would be next.
That's this upcoming Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. Yeah. Really hope that it's not too long of a delay. They probably had to delay it for a bit longer. They couldn't just go back on it within a day. They had to choose to commit to a minimum amount of time before they could just get pre-orders back up and running, because that's the thing with a lot of these larger companies and such. They have a lot of moving parts. Me, I'm just one guy. That's why I was able to just suddenly decide, instead of streaming at 8:30, I'm going to stream at 6:15. Because I'm just one guy. And again, I'm just experimenting for the most part. So I think that's everything I can get from RGT 85. I have been looking forward to the Switch 2 ever since it was revealed in January, and I am not letting all the negativity ruin it for me. I said on the last two streams, and I'm going to say it here. So anyway, let's expand on today's video. So this is the article I read and reacted to. You know, this care and feeding series from Slate has actually proven to be a pretty interesting read. So the TLDR is, she signs off as, good aunt. Good aunt lets her nephew Adam watch the movie Labyrinth, which is rated PG, but it was released in 1986. She doesn't actually explicitly reveal the title. She just referred to it as a well-known movie from the 80s that involves a Goblin King stealing a baby and the baby's sister on a quest to get the baby back. I ran it through ChatGPT and it confirmed that it was Labyrinth, which is actually available on Prime Video that I could choose to watch. But I developed a new system for getting my money's worth with my streaming services without overdoing it. So basically, let me sum up the conversation with ChatGPT. I haven't set up you know what, I think I'll try setting up a window where I can actually show the conversation. But the TLDR is ChatGPT confirmed for me that I need to get okay, I've got it ready for you. So basically, I asked it to find the minimum amount of content I have to watch per billing cycle to get my money's worth from Apple TV Plus and Prime Video. For context, Prime Video is part of Amazon Prime at $139 annually plus $3 a month to remove the ads. And I get Apple TV Plus as part of Apple One Premiere. So for Prime Video, before I gave it some more details, it said 3 movies, 5 episodes, or a full season of a show per month. Whereas with Apple TV Plus, 2 movies per month, 4 to 5 episodes a month, or a limited series per month, or I guess season of a show. And I had to have it adjust because of being part of Apple One Premiere, which brought it down to $571 a month for one movie or 2 to 3 episodes or 4 to 5 episode miniseries. Then I had to have it take into account Prime Video has a $9 a month standalone option. So I had to do the math and long story short, so Prime Video is effectively $12 a month. So the minimum is 2 to 3 movies or 4 to 5 TV episodes. Then Apple TV Plus, 1 movie or 2 to 3 episodes. And so what I'm doing now is I'm going to rotate between the 2 streaming services for the sake of getting my money's worth, obviously. But I also need to not have it take up too much time because if I want to live stream like this, I'm gonna have to sacrifice some, if not all nights. Saturday is probably my hill to die on, if you will. Because, as I said in a previous video, I have watched a movie every Saturday since the start of 2012. Well, if you don't count the Stephen King It miniseries as a movie, which I did at the time, but I realized in hindsight shouldn't match that definition. I decided to restart it with the way I handle it with the Saturday movie charter. So with the Saturday movie charter in my case, it's the newest movie of interest released with up to a year ago. Sorry, I think I'm falling into a bit of a food coma. Maybe streaming at this time of night, this hour isn't the best idea because of that. Yeah, I made my last burger patty, melted a block of Velveeta cheese to turn into cheese sauce for the tater tots, and I finally made more cookies after taking a couple days off from having a cookie or two after dinner. But anyway, maybe I should check out Labyrinth. I mean, right now, for a while now, I've been planning Contagion, but at this point, I think Labyrinth might make more sense. No, wait, I wanted to go to the article. Uh-oh, I messed up the article thing. Please bear with me while I fix that. Alright, getting back to the article. Essentially, Good Aunt shows Adam the movie Labyrinth. Her sister-in-law accuses her of traumatizing Adam because apparently Adam has nightmares, which she tricks him into attributing to the movie Labyrinth. And so, long story short, she's banned from babysitting duties because Kate doesn't trust her with Adam anymore, which parental choice and all that, but it's kind of suspect that Adam only attributes the nightmares to the movie because his mom suggested it. Like I said in the main video which I put out today, that is some serious gaslighting right there. Or some kind of mental trickery of some kind. Yes, there is some truth that Good Aunt showed a movie that maybe she should have double checked with Kate before letting him watch that, but it is what it is. And then the respondent, Rebecca, made a really good point that the PG rating was pretty different in the 80s compared to right now. So basically, what was acceptable for showing an 8-year-old in a movie at the time in the 80s is not the same today. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jaws would get rated R if it were remade today. Maybe a PG-13, but there's no way in hell it would get PG. I mean, I was surprised to find out that Conclave was rated PG instead of R. I expected that to be rated R because I guess of the prestige, but it wasn't as explicit in some of its handling of the real life Catholic Church as the young Pope and the new Pope were, which is well, I kind of expected it to be like. I guess because it's depicting a fictional Pope ascending the throne and all that. But yeah, I bet if this were posted on r slash am I the blank hole, everyone would be like, well, maybe you could have done better with double checking with the mom first. But at a certain point, you are given the responsibility. But you are not in the wrong for assuming that PG was okay because some of these can be a little subjective. Yes, there are certainly things that are objectively not great for showing to children. Like if you've seen Jurassic World and I forget the guy's name, the owner of the new Jurassic World, he said the Indominus Rex would give the parents nightmares. So let it go to show that sometimes you're just going to. Sometimes it's clear as day, sometimes it's a little more nuanced. Or here's the thing, PG stands for Parental Guidance Suggested, meaning it's not a movie you can just let a kid watch alone. You gotta supervise the kid, you gotta guide them, hence parental guidance suggested. Maybe it's not always necessary, but Maybe you have to be there to maybe remind your kid that it's not real or something like that. See, a more recent PG movie. Uh, okay, going back to Conclave. One, I don't think a lot of children would have been interested in watching that one anyway. And two, I think they had to make it accessible so that Catholic churches could show their religious education classes the movies so that they could get an idea of what the conclave is. So they don't really do anything hard hitting with it. I mean, they do bring up a few points about some of the issues of the modern church and all that. There's a battle between the more conservative, whatever they were running for pope, and then the more liberal ones trying to make the church a little more progressive, bringing it into the 21st century. The ones who are in no way willing or able to reverse the Second Vatican Council. But other than that, they don't really get into the nitty gritty of it like the young pope and the new pope. But I digress. Anyway, what would you say to what would you say to Kate if you were in Good Aunt's shoes? Would you be like, it was rated PG. I may not be the parent, but I was doing the guidance part. Or would you be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I should have checked with you. And I've got to keep in mind that the standards changed. That's why my abnormal psychology teacher always said, you can't judge the past by today's standards. You know what? I should do a separate video on that. The whole you can't judge the past by today's standards thing. Anyway, my wrist is feeling better. A little. Okay, it still hurts to move it like this. But my mom's buying a proper wrist brace for it. Oh boy, it's gonna be fun to explain that to my therapist tomorrow. First my back, now my wrist. Honestly, do I even want to know what will happen next? Am I going to twist my ankle? Am I going to break a limb? You know what? I'd rather not think about that. But yeah, it made playing video games a lot more difficult. Actually, this doesn't feel too bad right now. I could spin up something on the Switch. Just an idea. I actually do have it connected to the capture card so I can bring it up on this. See? Got it all up here. Yeah, not the best capture card. You can see the way that the image fragmented there. I'm going to cut away from that before I give someone motion sickness. You know what? I think I want to show you some Donkey Kong Country Returns HD wins. I've still been stuck on that for... Oh, no. I've been stuck in this level for so long now. It's not even funny. It's just kind of sad, really. But I've pulled off some pretty cool tricks. Oh, what's... Yeah, there was some kind of cool stunt I pulled off. That's the only reason I screenshotted it. See? That probably... Oh, wait, this is one of the... These are just the video clips I took to remind myself that Jolly Red did not show up on that day. Delete that. You know, there are new Genesis games on here. Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, I don't feel like any of these. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care much about the Genesis games. The Nintendo ones are all I need. Yep, this is my entire Switch library. Yeah, I admit I actually erased all the ones that were confirmed incompatible or something like that. We're having some kind of difficulty with Switch 2. So anyway, maybe I could read up on some comments I've gotten and... Nah. Well, anyway, how about I just talk while I work on scheduling out future movies and TV and with my one episode or one movie per day protocol, excluding Saturdays where if it happens to be on Prime Video or Apple TV Plus, cool. But whatever I want to watch it that's in the queue, if I have to rent it, I rent it. If I don't, oh well. I'm alternating between Apple and Amazon for movies because even if I didn't watch any shows and just watched 2 movies a month from each, that's 4 movies a month, I would get my money's worth. The question is, how do I integrate my digital purchase library? Because I want to keep going with those because I have 490 movies that are viable options. Now on Friday, I'll be watching The Passion of the Christ because it's Good Friday. And then Sunday, I'm watching Patriots Day because it's the day before Patriots Day. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call it here because I've run out of steam. I think I've expanded on the points as best as possible. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.